Thank you for joining me for this full-length Pilates Reformer class focusing on planks. We are going to begin today by setting up our machine. I have a regular sized ring. I placed it just to the side. We're just going to be using it for one portion of the exercises today. It's not necessary for the whole class. So if you don't have one, don't worry about it. I also have my box and 2 sticky mats. And then I have 1 light spring on my machine. That is 1 whole blue spring on my machine, guys. To begin, we're going to take our handles off. Toss them out to the side of the machine. Don't toss them in the middle because we're going to be standing inside the frame, behind our carriage. I'm going to come up, come facing the back, facing the foot bar. Place both my hands on the shoulder blocks before I step over the frame into the well of the reformer. I'm going to come into a quadruped position with my heels directly under my hips and my wrists underneath my shoulders. From there, I'm going to engage underneath my arms, squeeze underneath my arms, lengthening my neck. I'm looking for a straight line from the tip top of my head shooting out through my tailbone. I'm engaging my abdominals and I'm drawing my ribs together. When you're here, make sure you're not swinging out like this. We want a strong engagement. I feel a nice hollowness from hip to hip. My feet are separated so that my heels are directly underneath my sits bones. So I don't have my feet separated very wide. They're right under there so I can still find the engagement of my lower abdominals. We're going to begin with some nice gentle cat-cow. I'm going to inhale, tuck my tail, look down between my thighs, and as I do that, I'm going to squeeze under my arms to pull the carriage towards my legs. I'm squeezing my glutes. I'm not popping my hips back to do this. I'm rounding up to move the carriage. I'm going to come back out to the quadruped position, finding a flat back neutral position, and I'm going to drop down, sinking down, lifting my tail, lifting my head, still squeezing under my arms to have a nice long neck. From there, I'm going to find neutral again, tuck my tail, drop my head, and squeeze underneath my arms, rounding my back in to look down at my thighs. I'm going to find neutral spread again, not letting my glutes get away from me. Slow with control, guys. Lift my tail, lift my head. And tuck and pull. And come back to neutral. And lift tail, lift head. Keep it going. We're going to tuck. And release. Pull down underneath your arms the whole time. We're never losing that contraction under the arms, even when we're coming into a cow. Good. Keep it going. Release it up to neutral. And lift. And 1 more. And release up to neutral. And lift. Good. From there, we're going to come back to neutral. I'm going to place my right hand over my left hand. I'm going to stay square in my shoulders. My right hand's not doing a lot. It's just resting on the top. I'm in a neutral spot. I'm going to tuck my tail, pull in with just my left arm. Release up to neutral. A nice little chest lift. And tuck. Angry cat. Come back through neutral before you drop down to cat. Still that engagement. We're going to do 1 more single arm. From there, I'm going to come to neutral. Place my right hand back on the shoulder block. Just rest my left hand on top of my right hand. Squaring my shoulders. I'm in neutral spine. I'm still squeezing my inner thighs, wrapping my glutes, pressing energy down through the legs. I'm going to tuck, round up, squeeze under my arm to pull the carriage. My shoulders aren't popping up to my ears at any time in this exercise. I'm engaging underneath my arm, which will help drain the planks and other exercises. And I'm lengthening through my spine. And I'm still finding the neutral for planking as well. 1 more. Find the neutral. Lift up into cow. Come back to neutral. Place your left hand on. We're just going to rest our hands here gently. We're not squeezing in for dear life, and we're not pressing down on our wrists, breaking our wrists. Find the meaty part of your palm and rock forward to the front of it to try to keep your wrists as straight as possible. This is a planking class, so we're going to be doing a lot on our wrists today, right? I'm going to come and squeeze my feet together in the center now. I'm going to lift my left leg up. I'm going to extend it behind me. I'm going to square my hips, square my shoulders. I'm using my glutes to lift my leg up. I'm going to lower it and squeeze it back up. Squeeze under your arms. Lengthen your neck as you lower and lift slowly and with control. Shoot energy out of your toes. Square those hips. Wrap the glutes on the right leg. No necessary breathing pattern here. Just make sure that you're breathing with control. Again, we have a straight line. See if you have a mirror that you can take a look at, a straight line from the tip top of your head out through your tailbone. Good. Let's do one more and stay up at the top. Squeeze underneath your arms. Make yourself tall. Now stay within the uprights. Bring your leg out an inch and across your body an inch. And out an inch. Try not to wag the tail or move the tailbone. You're pressing out with your outer leg and you're squeezing across with your inner thigh. Good. Keep it going. My standing leg is really starting to talk to me now. So squeeze under the arms. Don't sink into that hip. Good. 2 more. Now, bring your leg back to center. 10 small circles in each direction. 1, through about the sides of an orange. 4, up and in on your abdominals. Wrap your ribs. And reverse. Good. 8, 9, 10. Bend the knee to bring it back in so you don't kick the frame. Walk out your legs real fast. Now, squeeze your legs together. Reestablish that neutral spine. Draw up and in on your abdominals. Wrap your ribs. Squeeze under your arms. Widen your shoulder blades while we're here, guys. So don't round up on this. Think of widening your shoulder blades. I have a slight bend in my elbows to get there. I'm going to bend my left knee and extend it behind me. I'm going to square my hips, square my shoulders. Really straighten up on my standing leg, my left leg. And I'm going to lift an inch and lower. Don't let your back sway out to lift your leg. Just squeeze your glutes up and lower. This is a warm-up, guys. Allow your body to move where it needs to. Here's 6. Really press energy in through your leg. Don't sink into your left hip. Good. And this next one, stay up at the top. Staying within the uprights. Open out an inch and across an inch. Don't move your booty to move your leg. I feel this strongly, strongly, strongly in my inner thigh. I have support from the front of my machine not allowing me to move, and the uprights are keeping me in line as well. Up and in your abdominals, wrap your ribs. Squeeze under your arms. Now, back to center, 10 small circles the size of an orange. Don't sink into that hip. And now reverse. Good. Now draw your knee in. Hold on. Walk out your legs real fast. Sorry about that. Still holding your shoulder blocks. Step out with one leg and then the other leg. And then release your hands. Go ahead and find your straps. Repeg them. And I'm going to come down to sitting. I'm going to place footwork springs on. For me, that's 3 to 4 springs. I use my, for heavier springs, I use 3 heavies, 1 medium. My machine, 3 greens, 1 red. I don't work in half springs. I'm going to find my ring. Roll that onto my side. Headrest is optional, up or down. I'm going to find my ring. I'm going to place my thumbs inside my ring. Pull it apart, flattening my shoulder blades on the mat. I shouldn't feel my shoulder blades popping up. I want to pull them down. Now, my ring's up here. I'm going to drop it down an inch or 2 so it's over my sternum. It's going to help me wrap my ribs as if I'm wearing a corset. Drop my belly to my spine and squeeze under my arms. Nice long neck again, guys. I'm in a Pilates V position with my heels raised an inch or two. I'm going to inhale, exhale, and press out. We're going to stay here for a second, reestablish our arms down our back, and resist the strings back in. Inhale out, and exhale back in. Good. While we're here, let's go ahead and notice that with our arms up to the ceiling, pressing it out into a Pilates V in a neutral spine, this is a classical plank position on the back. So let's go ahead and really pull the shoulders down, wrap the ribs, sink that 12th rib on the back down into the mat. Don't lose your stretch on the ring. Good. Now we're going to bring our feet together on the heels, flexed feet, squeezing our leg together. We're going to do an arm movement where we drop our elbows to the mat, and then we squeeze the ring as we press up. But we're not going to squeeze in with our pecs, we're going to squeeze in with underneath our arms, so we're going to squeeze down. So, as we press out, we're going to drop our elbows down to the mat. And then as we press out, we're going to press out, 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 and down. I feel engaged strongly in my abdominals. And I feel my shoulder blades nice and flat on the mat, a nice wide collarbone, and I feel the wrap on my ribs strongly. Inhale, and exhale to resist. As you press out, tap it. This is a parallel plank position. More like a push-up here, right? On your back. And inhale, and exhale. Good. From there, I'm going to bring my feet wide to the Pilates V position. I'm going to rest the ring on my chest, rest my arms down by my side for a second, locate the neutral spine, pull my toes back so my knees are tracking over my big toes and my inner thighs are engaged. I don't want my legs to flop out to the side, and I'm going to press out, wrapping the thigh muscle from the inside of the knee to the outside of my hip, and resist it back in. And inhale. Feel the nice, wide flatness of your shoulder blades here. Now that we've worked on it a little bit, we can really feel our shoulder blades start to widen apart and flatten against the mat. We want to feel the same sensation when we're on our hands or forearms doing planks. And squeeze it out, no tucking, and resist it back in. Now come up onto your toes in the same position. I'm between my big toe and my second toe is where my weight is on the foot bar. I'm going to press it out, squeezing it, wrapping, really squeezing my inner thighs, hollowing out from hip to hip and resisting it back in. And inhale it up. And inhale. And resist. We're going to pick up the ring again for the last set of footwork. Enjoy the nice rest for your arms right here. Here's 9. And one more. Really stretch out at the hip flexors and increase while you resist to come back in. Slide your feet together, squeezing your legs together just like in the flex foot, but now we're in a demi-point position on the balls of our feet. I'm going to reach the ring up to the ceiling. As I press out, I'm going to pull the ring apart with my thumbs. And as I resist it coming back in, I'm going to squeeze the ring in with the palms of my hand. Pull it apart as you press, and squeeze as you come in. And inhale, pull, and exhale, and squeeze. Inhale. Again, we're pulling down with the ring so we can really engage our core, wrap our ribs, and squeeze under our arms. Press it all the way up. One more. Good. Now we're going to come out and we're going to trot. But what I'm going to do for the trotting is I'm going to take my palms and I'm going to place them flat on the rings. So I'm going to platform my shoulder blades. I'm going to hold my hands here, squeezing underneath my arms, so a nice long neck, just like I would be in the position for plank. I'm going to hold the ring steady. I'm going to drop my left heel as my right knee comes over the machine. And then I'm going to lift and drop my right heel under. My range should stay nice and steady. I'm squeezing under my arms to keep it that way. And left and left. Keep everything in your body stable, and your range should stay stable too. So you resist the carriage down, and you press the carriage out, and resist. Really engage your glutes and inner thighs here. Really draw in on that core, wrap the ribs to help maintain stability as well. Good. Keep that ring nice and still. I have a slight bend in my elbows. One more on each side. Left heel, lift. Right heel, lift. Now staying here, we're going to drop both heels under, 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 and lift, 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 and down, 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 and up, 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 and 1, 2, 3, and up, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3. Good. Maintain that nice stillness in your body. Squeeze your glutes. Wrap them from the outsides of the hips all the way back around to the tailbone as you press it back up. Here's 9. And here is 10. Good. Now drop your heels under. Give yourself a micro bend in your knees. Bring your arms down. Rest here for a second. Just allow the legs to release. And now resist the carry back in. I'm going to place my ring to the side. I'm going to come up to sitting real fast. We're going to do some single leg work before moving on. I'm going to drop my springs down to 2 springs. I'd like to see 2 heavy springs or 1 medium, 1 heavy spring. I have 2 greens on my machine, or you can put 1 red, 1 green on your machine. I'm going to come back down to lying down on my back again. Again, headrest optional. If you'd like it up, great. If you'd like a cervical pillow, please do so. I'm going to be working in a Pilates V position from here. So I have a nice relaxed ankle, but as I press out, I'm going to press out to a high heel demi point position. I'm going to kick my foot up without moving my abdominals. So I'm going to inhale, exhale, drop my abdominals from hip to hip and float my right leg up. From there, I'm going to flex to lower and point to lift. Not too much, just a little bit. I don't want to lose my flat sacrum. So I want to keep a heavy sacrum from hip to hip to my tailbone. Oh, sorry, head itch. Nice wide shoulder blades again. If you find that you're having some trouble finding the nice wide shoulder blades that we had in footwork, go ahead and raise your arms up to a V position. Really pull your shoulder blades down, but don't allow your ribs to pop up. Good. We're going to stay up on this one. We're going to bring the leg across an inch, back to center, away an inch. Keep both hip bones on the back completely still. Feel your muscles handle the weight transfer. As I bring my leg across, I feel it in my leg and my obliques on the same leg side. As I bring my leg away, my standing leg obliques kick in to maintain my body position. Really press in through that standing leg. Straighten it out nice and tall, shooting energy out of it. So we're still working the standing leg. 1 more. Come back to center. Let's do 10 small circles in each direction the size of a bender ball now. Still maintaining nice, stable sacrum, nice neutral spine. No moving. Our legs moving, but nothing else is, guys. Shoot energy out of that foot up into the ceiling and reverse. Good. 2, 3. No tucking to get your leg up. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 more. Excellent. Bring your leg down, back to the Pilates feet. Resist the spring tension back in. Come into a nice, relaxed ankle position. We have the other side to do. So, inhale. Exhale to press it out to a high heel position. Take your left foot, float it up, and we're going to flex. So lower and point to lift. I'm not reaching for the footwork here, guys. What I'm maintaining here is a nice neutral spine, and I'm really focusing on the contraction in my core. I'm anchoring that 12th rib to the mat. Good. Now we're going to come up. We're going to come across an inch, back through center, and away an inch. Don't forget to really see if you can feel your obliques working in tandem as you transfer the weight from side to side. Nice breathing, guys. Nice long neck. Really shoot energy out of that standing leg. Excellent. Platform your shoulder blades down your back. If you're having trouble finding it, don't forget Pilates or V your arms. Now, this will make the movements harder as well if you V your arms. But we're going to do small circles the size of a bender ball. So if you really want to challenge, bring your arms up to the ceiling. Nice long leg, shooting energy to the ceiling. Stretch out down that standing leg. And now we'll go ahead and reverse and inhale and exhale. Good. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Float your leg down to the foot bar. Stretch out in Pilates feet. And resist the springs as you come back in. Excellent. We're going to press up to sitting. Again, we're going to change your spring tension. We're going to be working with one medium spring for a while. That is one red spring on my machine. We're going to be doing hundreds and some box work with one spring for a while. So make sure that you can locate your handles. We're going to come back down to lying on our backs. We're going to bring our heels up to the ceiling, float our legs up to tabletop. Press your springs down so they're not above your head. Mine are slightly above my shoulder. I want to press it down so that my hands are right over my sternum, right 12th rib. I'm engaging underneath my arms. Again, we really want to make sure that we can do that so that we don't creep up into our necks when we do planks. Inhale, exhale. We're going to curl up 3 times. Nice heavy tailbone. I mean sacrum, I'm sorry guys, not just your tailbone, your sacrum. And this final one, we're going to stay up. It is a little lighter than usual. We're going to extend our legs to working level, and then we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really squeeze your legs together. If you flex your toes back, your legs are in a very similar position to the plank. We're going to squeeze our legs, wrap our glutes from the outside of the hip all the way around. Inhale. Wrap your ribs, nice wide shoulder blades, nice wide collarbones. Don't crunch your chin to your chest and don't lift your gaze up to the ceiling. You want to act as if you're holding something under your chin that you don't want to let go, roll away, and you don't want to squish it. Inhale. Reach energy long out of your fingertips. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Final set. Stop right there. Draw your knees into tabletop. Bring your fingertips up to the ceiling. Rest your head, neck, and shoulders. Peg your straps, feet down to the foot bar. We're going to come off to the side and grab our boxes. We're going to place our box in the long box position to begin. Just because I like it, I like to double my stress here. There's not really any rule for doing that. I'm going to stay on one red string for swan. If you have back issues, neck issues, osteoporosis, osteopenia, please do not do swan. I'm going to place one hand on, place the other hand on, sweep my leg up onto the box, and then sweep my other leg onto the box when I'm resting on the box. I'm going to come up so that where my sternum and my 12th rib meet are at the edge of the box. Wrap my ribs. Inhale, exhale, draw my belly up to my spine. Squeezing my legs to make my legs light on the box. I don't want to rest and attempt my hips. I'm going to try to come to a nice extended body position. From there, I'm going to press out on one. With straight arms, I'm going to pull up into a swan on two. I have a nice straight curve. The tip of my head all the way down into my feet. Press out on three, and in across on four. If you feel your ribs kickstanding or stopping you as you press down, wrap your ribs tighter at the top so that you can protect your low back more. And press out on one, lift up on two, press out on three, and across on four. And here's one. Inhale, exhale on two. Inhale on three, and exhale on four. So, press it out. Squeeze underneath your underarms to pull up into swan. Press it out and across. Let's do one more. One, and two, and three, and four. Good. From there, I'm going to step off one leg at a time to the side. I'm going to face the back of the machine, coming back up the same way, but first I'm going to place one hand on the corner of my box, other hand on the corner of my box, and then swing my legs up. Coming into the same position for, oh my gosh, I lost the words. Pulling straps 1 and 2, I'm so sorry, but I'm facing the uprights. I'm going to place where my sternum and my 12th rib meet on the edge of the box, coming into a neutral spine. A chest lift here is optional. In my last class for Reformer, we do go over a very specific way to find the correct position for chest lift. It does involve gazing no higher, usually, than where the inside of your reformer and your frame are. On my reformer, which is a studio reformer, I have a gold plaque that I can use to help direct my gaze as I lift up and pulling straps if you have a machine like this. So, I'm going to put my wrists into my straps like they're bracelets, choke up on the ropes, extend my arms to the sides of my machine. Starting off in a neutral spine, just like a swan, we're going to wrap our ribs, engage our lower abdominals, pointed belly to our spine. We're going to lift our legs. When my legs are engaged and lifted, they're not touching the footbar. When I'm tenting out, they are catching on the footbar and grazing. So I really want to make sure I'm lifting my glutes, I'm lifting my legs and my glutes, and engaging my inner thigh. So inhale, pull back, bringing your fists right to your hips, drawing up into a slight back extension if you so choose, and exhale back down. Inhale, pull, and exhale, release. We're really squeezing under our arms. Think of yourself as a turtle. As you pull up, you're pulling your head out of your shell. Let's do one more. We're going to stay up at the top. And now we're going to do tricep presses. So just bend at the elbows, bringing your fists to your shoulders, and press back. Don't allow your reformer to bounce. If you're bouncing, you're just using, you're not using control. You're really letting the machine get away from you. You're bouncing it all around. You control the machine. One more. And now resist it back down. Don't release your legs. Take your hands out of the straps, locate the middle, or put your thumbs through the rings and hook onto them. Palms facing flat to the ground. We're going to do pulling straps in the T position. Inhale, exhale, pull back, leaving your palms to the ground until you can't more than flip your palms to your hips. Now flip your palms to the ground and release it out. And inhale back, and then exhale back. Don't immediately flip your palms to your hips. Try to keep them to the ground a little bit longer to really widen your collarbones and flatten your shoulder blades. Woo. Here's 7. On 8, we're going to stay back and do some squeezes with our underarm muscles. My trainer Katie says act like you're squeezing in orange as you pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and release. Now, allow your legs to not flop, not collapse. Just allow them to rest over the footbar. And extend your legs, your arms long on the frame. Allowing yourself to round over the front of your box. We're going to press back. I'm going to hold on to my straps here as they come off to the side because we're going to do some arm work facing the front. I have one red spring on, but we're going to scoot to the back. So it's going to lighten our springs slightly for us. So if you can't hold on to your springs or your straps while you do this, go ahead, peg them, no big deal, right? We're carefully going to get onto the box on the carriage. Now scoot back. If you're scooted all the way to the back of your box and you find that the straps are still too heavy, please adjust your spring tension. But if you're to the back of the box and you find your springs are too light, please scoot up. But be careful with your toes and everything, because you could catch them on the foot bar and it would not feel good. Yeah? All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to sit up tall. Wrap our ribs, draw our abdominals up and in, stack our shoulders over our hips. I have my heels, hopefully, underneath my knees. I'm going to make sure that my straps aren't crossed. I'm going to bring my elbows to the back, squeezing under my arms to pull my shoulders wide. I have my straps resting in my hand and my thumb is hooked onto the strap. Inhale, exhale to press forward into serving. My straps are coming out of my sternum, my 12 rib. I don't have them coming out too far. I don't want to get my neck involved. I'm going to come back and I'm going to press out toward my sternum and 12 rib meet. When you do this, don't round in on your shoulders. Try to keep your arms open a little bit wider, in line with the uprights behind you. I still have a nice bend with my elbows, so I'm not locked out. Here's 7, and here's 8. Now using the same landmark of where our sternum and 12th rib meet, we're going to be doing hug a tree with our fingers tapping in the center of where our sternum and 12th rib meet. So I'm going to drop my hands down to squeeze under my arms. My elbows are lifted so that I'm going to inhale, tap my fingers, and exhale to resist apart. Inhale. Sit straight up, guys. Don't lose that nice body position where your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Now pause out here, take an inhale, and now move on the exhale, tap your fingers and inhale back out. So we reverse the breath pattern. Here's 3. And here's 4. Now drop your hands down, release your straps back, and just give yourself a nice little shake real fast. We're going to bring our hands back, right in front of our hips. So we're really dropping the shoulders up, back, and down. Don't allow your hands to go behind your shoulders, especially if you have shoulder issues. We're going to do the offering to where the sternum and 12th rib meet, open out to a T, still in our periphery, and drop our hands down to the starting position. First, then we'll lower circle. So we're not creeping into our neck muscles. We're going to keep it right at the sternum. So lift it to the sternum, open out to a T, and lower. And front. Wrap your ribs, shoulders over hips. Don't allow your body to move back. And one more in this position, and then we're going to reverse for 4. And reverse. Okay, now open out to the T. Wide shoulder blades. As you come back in, nice wide collarbones, nice wide shoulder blades. And drop your hands down. Don't go higher than the sternum. Really stay squeezed underneath those arms. Really wrap the ribs. Squeeze it on the glutes. Sit up tall. Good. From here, we're going to release the stretch back slightly. Shake out our arms again. We're going to do a modified salute. For the modified salute, we're going to bring our middle fingers to tap in the center and bring them to where our third eye would meet in between our eyes. From there, we're going to hinge forward and extend our arms out as if we were Supergirl. And then when we pull back in, we're going to pull right back in to that starting position. We're going to do some of those, and then we're going to do some arm hinge lower lifts, just like we would do for a long stretch with our hands on the foot bar and our feet in the headrest. But we're going to do them sitting so we can really get that arm position going on, really establish a nice stable connection throughout our body before we add on any less body parts touching the machine, right? Which would definitely increase the difficulty of the exercise. Make sure your straps are still uncrossed. I'm going to take my hands and flip them Bring my fingertips to the center, wrap my ribs, hinge forward slightly. From there, I'm going to extend my arms out to Supergirl, pull them back, and extend. Really draw up and in on your abdominals, so you're not feeling this in your low back. The straps are probably going to rub your shoulders. Here's 5, 6, shoot it out long. Try to get your biceps up by your ears, not like I was doing. Here's 7, and here's 8, and now stay out on 8, now lower and lift. I haven't lowered it all the way down to my shoulders, just about to eye level and lift it. Wrap your ribs, don't forget to breathe. Reach it out long, shooting energy straight out from the tip top of your head out through your tailbone. One more. Shoulders wide down your back. Now bring your hands back into salute. Bring yourself back up to sitting tall. And then release your arms. Good. I'm going to go ahead and repeg my straps. From there, I'm going to come into short box position. We're going to do some forearm planks from here. Hence the 2 sticky mats. If you'd like a sticky mat for your forearms, you can place it on your box. And if you'd like a sticky mat for your standing platform, you can place it there. I like to bring my foot bar all the way down for these. That way, if I need to, I can press my heels against my foot bar during the forearm planks. I'm going to come down. I'm going to line my forearms up with my shoulder blocks. I have to push my carriage up slightly because it's in to a certain point where I need to push it out slightly so that I can get into a true quadruped position. I'm going to find it here. I'm going to draw up and in on my abdominals. I'm going to tuck my toes on the top of my standing platform. I don't want to hook my toes around the standing platform. We're really trying to work our plank here. It is still 1 medium spring. On my machine, that is 1 red spring. I have my shoulder blades nice and flat and wide. Think of pulling apart, without sinking your hips, pulling apart the box with your shoulders. So, inhale, exhale, we're going to float our knees up 1 inch and lower. And float up 1 inch and lower. Now 1 more, hold it up here. Now press it out and pull it back in. Something that I neglected to mention, guys, I am in a narrow Pilates V position here for a true classical plank. I'm going to press out 1 more time. I'm going to stay out there and massage my arms. So forward and pull it back. Saw and pull it back. My body's staying still, just my arms are moving. And now we're going to do 3 pikes. I'm going to tuck my tail though for more around that pike and lift. Press it back out. I'm going to tuck my tail and lift. And press it back out. Think of doing cat-cow at the beginning of class where you're pulling the machine in, and come back out. And now bend your knees in, and then rest your knees down. We're going to be doing some oblique work. So, we're going to have to separate our heels. I'm going to take my left arm and bring it in to face my right forearm. I'm going to pop up onto my right hand slightly, but not really pressing into it. It's more just there for balance, guys, okay? So I don't have my forearm down, but I am pressed up slightly. So I have my feet separated. I'm going to come up to a hover and rotate my knees towards my right hand, leaving my shoulders as square as I can. And I'm going to press out and bend my knees back in. We're not going to saw here, but we are going to do the pikes and the knee bends. Squeeze your legs together the whole time. Squeeze your glutes as you press out. Good. Didn't want too many, that's fine. We're going to press it out. Now we're going to tuck and rotate our upper body toward the box as we pike. And we're going to rotate our hips back out as we come back down. So really our hips are rotating, I'm sorry. Rotate. Squeezing my legs together the whole time. Let's do one more. Don't drop your hips when you press out. Just press back out to a side leg. So don't drop them down. And now we're going to bend our knees to come back in. And we're going to lower our knees in through center. So we'll have to rotate our arms slightly. I'm going to come back to that plank position, the original plank position with my forearms. I'm going to bring my right arm So that my fingertips are facing my left forearm. Bring my left hand up onto the box. Squeeze under my arm. Again, it's just for balance, guys. I'm gonna bring my knees up. Rotate my knees to my left hand. Try to bring my shoulders as square as possible to the box. I'm gonna press it out, squeezing my legs, squeeze my glutes, and bend it back in. I want my legs squeezed together the whole time. So let's do one more on the other side. We'll do one more this side. Squeeze under your arms, guys. Now press it out. Now pike as you rotate your hips towards the box and press it back out. Don't sink your hips and rotate and lift. We're doing more of a round back pike here, guys. So we're not losing that abdominal connection. Press it out. Now bend it back in. Come back through center and rest your knees. Now go ahead. Reach your arms out in front of you. Move the sticky mat if you'd like. This is comfortable for you. You come into a modified child's pose to give yourself a nice rest after those forearm planks. One more breath. Good. I'm going to step off to the side carefully. I'm going to remove my sticky mat real fast. We're going to set up our machine for some short box exercises, classical short box exercises. So, on my machine setup, I'm going to put 4 to 5 springs on. Drop the bar. Excuse me. I'm stuck on the safety strap. So, from there, I'm going to come on to sitting on my machine. You know what? I said we weren't going to use the ring anymore. Let's go ahead and actually grab the ring for these exercises so we can incorporate it into a few more exercises on the carriage. So, double check on my safety strap one more time. It's always a good idea. Place my feet under. Make sure I have a hand's width from my tailbone to the back edge of the box. I'm going to take my ring, take the pad, and put it right up where my sternum and my 12th rib meet. Now, squeezing down, I'm going to really elongate my neck, engage under my arms, and gently pull the ring in towards my chest. I'm not squeezing it for dear life. It's just a gentle squeeze for a nice little engagement. We're going to use this for round back. So double check on your hands width behind you. And you'll exhale, trap your nose to the ring. Now, round the ring down your body. So it's connected to your body the entire way. Now as we inhale back, we're going to pull the ring off, vertebra by vertebra. And then we're going to exhale back forward, placing the ring, rolling it down our body. My trainer, Katie Rowley, taught me this. And it's always been my favorite way to do round back. I really feel like it gives great tactile feedback. That way, if it's just popping off your body, you're going to know. Really draw your abdominals up and in. Let's do 2 more. Squeeze down on the ring. Really locate that shake. Or earthquake abs. 1 more. And now, without releasing your legs, sit up tall. Place your thumbs on the inside of your ring. Lift the ring up by your biceps. Pull down on the ring while you pull it apart. Now wrap your wrists and draw your abdominals up and in. It's time for flat back. Heart beat nose itch. So we're going to inhale. Flat back, lean back. Reaching for the ring with the wall of the ceiling. Exhale, squeeze the ring with your hands or your palms to lift it back up. Now pull the ring apart and flat back, hinge back. Now squeeze the ring to grow taller and hinge forward. Pull it apart. We did something like this when we did footwork. We are halfway there. When we do side bend in a minute, we're going to do the same hand movements. 1 more. Take a look in the mirror. Make sure you're not sinking. Make sure you're wrapping your ribs right up and in on your abdominals. Don't release your legs. Pull the ring apart to reach to the right. Squeeze the ring to sit back up through center. Pull it apart to reach to the left. Keeping both sits bones on. Squeeze it up. Wrap your ribs. Again, look in the mirror to make sure that your ribs are wrapped and you're not flaring out. One more to each side. We're not resting our legs. They're extended long and with energy. And one more. Okay, we're going to release your legs. Shake them out slightly. Place the ring to the side. Push the shoulder or the safety strap back in. Place your feet flat on the carriage. Thread your arms underneath your legs and round forward. Gently rest, letting your head rest as you take a few nice deep breaths, guys. We're moving on to the knee stretch series, and then we're going to do some long stretch here. So release your hands, articulate back up to sitting tall. Take your ring, move it off to the side. Remove your box. We are going to set our machines up for knee stretch. Bump our back up and do whatever you did for our short box. We are going to have 2 springs on, one medium, one light. On my machine, that is one red and one blue. I'm going to go ahead and bring my headrest up for the long stretch series. Place one hand, knee, knee. I'm going to tuck my toes, place them in front of the shoulder block, and place my heel against the shoulder block. Now from there, I'm going to hover my glutes off my heels slightly and round up. Trying to bring my biceps by my ears, looking in at my thighs, lifting up, wrapping my ribs. Now I'm going to inhale to press it out, not losing my round back, just squeezing back my glutes, and exhale it back under. Nice wide shoulder blades. Pull the foot bar apart. Keep it going. Inhale and exhale. Is this slow for knee stretch? Yes. Are we doing it to really engage for plank? Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. We're trying to get ready for plank. So if you thought you were sick of plank yet, we're not done yet. We have one more round back. Now we're going to come to a flat back. So a nice straight line from the tip top of our head up through our tail. Don't sway. Really draw up and in on your abdominals. Hover off your heels and press it out. Squeeze your glutes and float it back in and press and back. Guys, we are going to try a nice knee hover after this. So just like we did the knee hover to prep for our forearm planks, we're going to do a knee hover and sustain it for these flat back knee stretches. 2 more. Just 8 total, guys. So come back in. I have to walk forward slightly so I can really tuck my toes for this one. I'm going to draw up and in on my abdominals, so I'm not swinging up my back. I'm going to hover my knees. And then I'm going to press and pull. Press it back. Plank. Here's plank. 3, 4, 5, 6. Wrap your ribs. Squeeze your glutes. 7. Squeeze your inner thighs. And 8. Now bring it in and then lower down. Take a nice deep breath here, guys. You did a great job. We're going to leave the springs on that we have on. We're going to stay with our hands on. We're going to bring one foot to the side. I'm going to take my other foot. We're going to be on a Pilates V for these long stretches. I'm sorry, take that back. We're not starting long stretches. We're starting with down stretches. Ooh, so we're going to stay in the same position as knee stretch. I'm going to squeeze my glutes to press forward. Instead of coming into an extension like we normally would for knee stretch, maybe not that large, right? We're going to come to a flat back knee stretch. So more of a plank. So we want to feel a nice openness in the front of our hip flexors from where we're squeezing our glutes to open them up. But we're still wrapping our ribs strongly. And think of a straight line from the tip top of your head out to your tailbone, straight line from your hips down to your knees. So come up into a plank position. Squeeze down on your shoulders, pull the foot bar apart, and press it back and up. This would be more like, if it helps you out, long stretch on the knees. really squeeze the glutes, really locate that body. And here is 6. And now we're going to walk our feet forward slightly, tuck our tail, and lift up into a pike. Place your feet flat on the carriage. We're going to be doing round back elephant. And then we're going to be doing flat back elephant, moving on to arabesque 1, and then long stretch. So, biceps by your ears, tuck your tail and lift. Pull the foot bar apart. Lift up your toes so you have equal weight from behind your big toe through your heel. Now press it back, pull it back under. It should feel as if you're getting punched in the stomach every time you come back in. Here's 5, we're going to 6. Don't let your heel lift off. Now, come into flat back. This is more of a hamstring stretch for me personally. If you have hip issues, please don't allow your legs to come past 90 degrees, where your heels should be right underneath your hips. Biceps by your ears, you're gonna press it back and under. Maintaining flat back the whole time. Wrapping your ribs right up and in on your abdominals. Feeling a nice hollowness from hip to hip. Pulling the foot bar apart with our shoulders. Now, from there, I'm going to put more weight into my right foot so I can float my left foot off and bring it to the back. I have a flexed foot. I'm squaring my hips, squaring my shoulders. I have energy shooting out my heels, leaning into the foot bar with my weight. Pulling the foot bar apart. So I'm going to lower and lift an inch for 1 and 2 and 3. Now bring it out and in, across, out and across. Just like we did at the beginning of class twice in different positions. And now 3 small circles. We're going to be doing this exercise again. And now we're going to bring our foot back down and in front of the shoulder block. We're going to be doing another arabesque exercise in a different position, just with the 3 times of each of these 3 exercises. So, float your right foot up and back. Square your hips, square your shoulders. Shoot energy out of your heels so you're not leaning weight into the foot bar. Pull the foot bar apart so you have nice wide shoulder blades. And lower an inch and lift an inch. Lower. And here's 3. And now away from the body and across. Way and across. Here's 3. Now, 3 small circles for 1 and 2 and 3 and reverse for 3 and 2 and 1. Bring the foot down. Come back down onto your machine. Now this is going to be the part where we step off with 1 foot to the side, leaving both hands on the foot bar. We're going to be doing the long stretch here in the Pilates V position. So our balls of our feet are going to be in the space where the headrest and the carriage meet, and our toes are going to be on the outside, touching the inside of the shoulder blocks. Our heels are going to be connected in the center. So, both hands on the shoulder block, on the foot bar. I'm going to bring my first foot up. I'm going to press my foot out straight. I'm going to bring my other foot up and over, pressing it into the Pilates V position. My shoulders are over my wrists. I'm drawing my abdominals up and in. I'm squeezing my inner thighs, wrapping my glutes. Now I'm going to press back and pull back to my shoulders across my wrists. As you pull away, pull your shoulders apart. Don't lose your low back. If you feel in your low back, draw up and in on your abdominals. And now, staying with the foot bar, I'm going to lift my left leg and tap it down. And lift, and tap, and lift. Keep it up at the top. Now open to the side, pull across the body. If this is not your thing, please feel free to do a regular long stretch. And now 3 small circles in each direction. And now reverse. 2, 3. And now 3 small presses and pulls. 1, squeeze under your arms. 2, and here is 3. Lower that foot down. We're going to lift the right foot up, square our hips, lower and lift. Here's 2. Pull your neck nice and long, away and across. 2 and 3. Back to center, 3 small circles for 1 and 2 and 3. Abs up and in, 1 and 2 and 3. 3 small one-legged long stretches. 1, 2, And 3, place your foot down, bend your knees to come in. And now we're gonna do a nice wrist stretch. We're going to take our right hand, that's what my hand says. Reach it out in front of us so the palms facing down. I'm gonna pull the fingers down towards my belly button. My palms facing into my stomach. Now I'm gonna flip my fingers up, palm away from me, and pull my fingers back. I'm gonna reach my palm up to the ceiling, flip my fingers down, drop my shoulder, and pull my fingers back one more time. These exercises are hard for people that have wrist issues or wrist stiffness. That's why we offer the forearm as well. The exercises from the forearm. Reach your fingers out, palms facing down. Pull your fingertips down towards you, towards your knees as your palm faces towards your belly button. Flip your fingertips up, palm facing away from you, pull back. We're going to be doing chest expansion, thigh stretch, scooter, and we're going to be doing a flying arabesque today. Flip your palm up, pull your fingers down, palm facing away from you. And then we'll be moving into some stretches. So, go ahead and release your hands. Do a few small wrist circles. We are going to come for chest expansion. If you find that chest expansion is too heavy for you on one red and one blue, I'm not looking for anyone to come past your hips necessarily. If you can a little bit, that's fine. I'm looking for wide, flat shoulder blades and stacking your shoulders over your hips. So I'm going to squeeze my glutes, coming up, drawing up and into my abdominals, stretching out long in the front of my hips, stacking shoulders over my hips over my knees. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to put my hands in my handles. I'm going to drop my shoulders, pressing down my fingers. I'm going to press back. I'm going to look to the right, center, left, center, and release. Squeezing my glutes the whole time. I don't want my body to move during this. Now look left, center, right, center, release. And now pull back. Just move a few inches, guys. Right, center, left, center, release. The more you wrap the ribs, the more you reach down with your fingers to engage under your arms, the more support you'll have. And the more you squeeze your glutes, of course, right? We just have one more to each side. And now to the right, center, left, center, release. This is almost a plank position on your knees, but without your hands in front of you, without the support, right? Left, center, right, center, release. So that being said, let's go ahead and do some thigh stretch. I'm going to place my handles on my wrist like they're a bracelet, choke up to the tape. Stack my shoulders over my hips over my knees. Do not lift your arms to come up. Try to only go back a few inches. And try to float your body up by growing taller. Just like flat back on the short box, but on your knees this time. You don't have to touch your glutes to your heels to get a nice breathing workout. Think of this as a nice relaxing break from what we were just doing. Okay, now sit back onto your heels. Peg your straps. Come off onto the side. I'm going to come off onto the side so that I'm working my right leg first. I'm going to place my left hand on the far side of the foot bar, my right hand closer to the middle. I'm going to tuck my toes, press my heel into the shoulder block. When I bend my left leg, I want my right knee to line up with it. So I want my knees lined up with each other. I want one knee way in front or one knee way behind. I want them lined up together. I'm going to draw up and into my abdominal straight line from the tip top of my head out through my tailbone and press it back to my glutes and resist. We're doing 8 here. I have my calf pressing in to the frame for some added support. knee, really squeeze the glute to straighten the leg. 8. And now rotate your leg so it's turned out and your heel is at the top of the shoulder block and your foot is more parallel. It might not be parallel. You want your knee to track over your big toe, but the inside of your foot is open to the carriage. And now press and resist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep breathing. 1 more. And now, bring your foot back down so your toes are tucked again. Press your foot out behind you. Now leave it right here. You're pressed. Now as you come up, bring your wrist over your shoulder, your shoulders over your wrist and press up. And now release down and press back. And up. Down and press back. Good. Now when you're feeling good with this position, you don't want to swing in your low back, but you want to squeeze your glutes to press your leg back, squaring your hips still, and lower back down. So you're allowing the carriage to move forward to help you float your leg back. Good. 1 more. Really slow it down nice and slow. And now, bend your knee back in to scooter. We're going to go around to the other side, guys. I'm going to move my ring. It's in my way. I'm going to find the same position that I did earlier. My right hand's going to be on the far side of the foot bar. Left hand in the center. Tuck my toes. Knee against the shoulder block. When I bend both knees, they're lined up. I'm going to square my hips, square my shoulder. I'm going to press out and resist it back in. And press and resist. Really get that nice glute warm up over here. It'll really assist with the arabesque. My abs are drawn up and in, my ribs are wrapped. Nice wide collarbone. I'm pressing my calf into the frame to help support my leg. Now, I'm going to take my foot, without moving anything, I'm just going to rotate it, turning it out. Rotating the femur and the hips up, and I'm going to press and resist. Here's 3. Press it out, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the leg, shooting energy out of it. 5, 6, good job. 7, and 8. Now I'm going to come back in, rotate my foot back down, press my foot out straight. Oh, I need to tuck my toes a little better. They were not in a good position. And now I'm going to just bring my shoulders over my wrists as I float up and come down and float up. Float up. Okay, and now we can lift our leg if we'd like. So float up and lift your leg and come back down and up and down. Don't press all the way back because we just want a little press. And press up and stay. And down. Good. Bend your knee, come back in. From here, we're going to do a psoas stretch and an inner thigh stretch with side bends. I'm going to drop my medium spring. So I've dropped my red spring. I only have 1 light spring left. That's 1 blue spring on my machine. I'm going to stay on the same side so that my back's not facing you. I'm going to place my hands back in the same position that they were in a minute ago for scooter. I'm going to take the toes of my right foot, line them up with the front wooden edge right here on my carriage. Tuck my toes, press my heel into the shoulder block, drop my heel down. Now I'm going to sit up tall, tucking my tail, squeezing my glutes to get a nice hip flexor stretch right here. I feel it all the way down. Now I'm going to drop down an inch, so I'm going to sway out my back. I'm going to keep that tuck and drop down an inch to increase the stretch. And come back up. Drop down an inch, increase the stretch. And come back up. 1 more. And now I'm going to press back into a big split. I'm going to take my right hand, float it off, bring it up to my ear, and side bend. Come back up through center. Bring my hand back on the foot bar. Bend my knee to come back in and come back up to standing tall. I'm going to step off to the side. Place my right foot with my toes slightly under the frame. Bring my left foot up to the carriage. Place my hands down. My right hand is on the very edge of the carriage. Straighten my leg, and I'm going to press out into a middle split. Pressing the carriage long. I'm going to tuck my tail and come back up. Good. And then I'm going to press out. Long. And come back. And let's do one more. And press out long. I'm going to bring my left hand up and side bend towards the foot bar if I'm comfortable. I'm going to bring it back down and come back in. From there, I'm going to go to the other side for the hip flexor stretch into the inner thigh stretch. So, I'm going to take the toes on my left foot, line them up with the front of the wood right here. Sorry, you know that my machine's in the way. Set up my hands just like they were on a scooter. Tuck my toes, press my heel into the shoulder block. I'm going to tuck my tail. So I'm already getting a nice stretch, right guys? And now I'm going to lower an inch. Remember, I don't want to sway out my back. I really want to feel that stretch in the hip. And come back up. This hip's much tighter than my other hip, so I'm really not going anywhere. And up. One more. And now press it back into the split. You can sway out your back here. From there, I'm going to release my left hand, bring it up by my bicep, and side bend to the right side. Come back. Replace my hand, pin my knee, carefully come back up to standing. From there, I'm going to take my left toes, slide them on right underneath my frame of my reformer, place my right foot in front of the shoulder block, place my hands on the end of the carriage, and I'm going to press it out into a middle split. I'm going to tuck my tail and lift it back up, and then I'm going to press it out. Resisting the carriage, I have control over it. I'm not just flying out there. I don't want to, hurt anything while I'm doing this stretch. On this next one, if you want to, you can do the side bend. But wait until your carriage is all the way out. You're in control. Float your hand up and float your right hand up and reach towards the foot bar. Come back to center. Place your hand down and come back up to center. From there, I'm going to come back into the front of my machine, separate my feet, inhale my hands up tall, exhale, rounding over, threading my hands underneath my legs, the outside of my feet, shake my head, keep breathing, release the threading of my hands, begin to articulate up, feeling the support from the front of my body. My head's the last thing to come up. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day. Thank you.